I'm not a nerd. I'm James. This is part 2 of the book review, Bobby Fischer, My 60 Memorable Games. This game versus Tall is one of the 3 games that Bobby Fischer lost to Tall, in which he documented in the book. And he actually lost 3 times in the book, but to different people, but once with Tall. And Fischer demonstrates how grandmasters lose. I know, grandmasters, we typically say, wow, they almost never lose. Yes, they almost never lose. They sometimes lose to, say, other grandmasters, and when I mean lose, I say checkmate, mate, resign, stalemate, anything of the like. And what I'd like to describe here is how grandmasters lose. And grandmasters lose by a series of blunders. Typically, they don't lose by one spectacular move that totally catches them off guard, and then they resign. No, it typically isn't like that. Typically, it's a series of blunders, over blunders, over blunders, or mistakes, until eventually the king can't handle it, and or let's say the team, the person behind the pieces can't handle it, trying to defend the king, and eventually they crash, the defenses crash, and the player either gets a checkmate, mate, resigns, or a stalemate. Here's the game. This move was played by Tall at 10 g6, which is a blunder for Tall, and Fischer even writes correct is 10 bishop to b7. This move next is 14 bishop captures e4. It's a blunder, and this is the first blunders, one of the blunders that build up, eventually crashing down Fischer's defense. This next move is 17 bishop to f4 blunder. This is one of the moves also played by Fischer that eventually made his defenses crash. 40 rook to c2 played by Fischer was one of the last moves before Fischer resigns. As you can see, Fischer is very cramped up in his area with material disadvantage. Fischer actually starts off strong with 11 f5, which creates a little more space, and even as Tall said in his own words, caught Tall by surprise. But then Fischer started to mess up, starting perhaps with 14 bishop to e4, capture e4, and then 17 bishop to f4, and then continuously with 32 g3, eventually letting all of Fischer's defenses crash into each other, and then eventually closing in on the king. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.